Thank you so much for sticking around. I know we're probably all trying to get out of here. I have triumphed between two movies that I don't like. But I was triumphant anyway. I overcame. When I was 12 years old, I used to go with my friend Justin to the movies. And we went by ourselves. I lived in a suburban neighborhood in Farmington. And we would take public transportation. There's a little bus that actually came up my street and went all the way to the mall, where they had a little 5-screen cinema at that time at Eastview Mall. There used to be a tiny, quaint little theater. And we would go and see, we saw the third Ninja Turtles movie there. Frozen time, kids. And one time, I wanted to go. He couldn't be bothered to go. The movie was Walt Disney's Aladdin. More about that in a second. So I decided I'm going to go see Aladdin anyway. But guess what? I was the most shy person ever. The only reason I could do any of this is because you could almost get on a bus, go to the mall, see a movie and come back, only having to speak maybe twice. Only for a second. And I went by myself. I had a pocket full of money, some of it loose change. I don't even know how much now. But I went by myself, terrified, on this bus, got to the mall, terrified, walked to the movie theater, bought my ticket, and then, as was tradition, I wanted a popcorn and a soda. I go and I order a popcorn and a soda, and the counter person, the concession stand person, told me the amount, and I counted the money I had, and it was less money than he wanted. I gave him all the money I had, and he said it was cool, I could take the popcorn and the soda. I went in and I watched the movie Aladdin, terrified, because you know what this means. I don't have money for the bus ride home. Shy kid. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm embarrassed that I've screwed myself over. I'm embarrassed that this person knows now that I can't do math. I'm I ate the popcorn and drank the soda, like a stress eating nervousness. I'm now full of sugar and fat. I watched a movie that, honestly, of all the Disney, I watched Pinocchio recently. Fucking brilliant. Amazing. Dark, mysterious, terrifying. I watched Aladdin. Robin Williams, everybody. It was okay, but it wasn't, not really my cup of tea. I can't believe that I died. I fell on this sword. I died on the Aladdin hill. I got done with the movie, and then I went back to the mall where the bus comes, and I didn't know what to do. I had no money, and I'm too shy to ask for help. And I literally sat by the central water fountain in the mall at the time and contemplated stealing coins from the water fountain for like an hour. Couldn't bring myself to do that either, because if I got caught, oh jeez. So what happened was, I waited outside. The bus came and went, another bus came and went. I just waited there, a nervous wreck, on the verge of tears, and until finally my mother shows up in a minivan, as angry as I've ever seen a person in my entire life. And I burst into tears, and I cried the whole way home with her, justifiably berating me for not asking anybody for help. You know, I'm a 12-year-old kid at the mall. They would have put me in the office and bought me ice cream or something and called my mom. But no, I couldn't imagine that it was worth anybody's time or trouble to help me out. So that's me being afraid of what could happen. And then I grew up a fearful kid. I had trouble in school. I was scared of everything, including I don't know, achieving things like doing homework and stuff. It all just seemed very unfathomable. And so I had a weird, troubled 20s where I was a chef for a while and had weird jobs on and off and was always broke. And somehow I made it into college for a little bit, and things started to look up a little bit. But I still had this like huge fear like in my soul. And then I got in this relationship that I talked about 4 months ago here, and it really put me through the ringer. And I fell into it. I just did it because somebody said, you should do this. That person was the person who wanted to be in the relationship with me. I said, sure. I also said, let's get married. We didn't get married. I came this close, and then somebody was able to talk some sense to me. And I escaped in a grandiose fashion. And the thing that happened from that was I stopped being afraid of what could happen, because what actually happened, the thing that I wasn't even scared of, was much worse than the things that I was being afraid of my whole life. And I licked my wounds for like a year, and then I started getting on stage. I started doing stand-up comedy. And it was scary, but it wasn't as scary as the idea that I almost wasted my entire life just doing things that other people told me to do. And I think I know my moment of triumph is an odd one, but it's symbolic of the person that I'm trying still to become, but that I'm on the other side of things. I think I'm on the good side of things now. And what happened was I've been an online dater in my life. You know, on and off, and I met a girl online. We chatted it up. She seemed cool enough. Like she was into movies. Yeah, we went. Lassie gave me the thumbs up. She was into movies. I'm into movies. It was great. She was like, "We're gonna go to the movies. We'll go to the cinema. We'll see a double feature or whatever." I went with her to the cinema. I couldn't believe that she said yes, but I was open to her saying yes, and I was kind of gung-ho about it. I was like, let's do this. I went, and it turned out that she was like a timid, shy person. And at that point in my life, it was like, I'm going home, I'm doing things, I'm achieving, I'm like wrecking life right now. And you're a shy person, we're probably not very well matched. We watched another terrible movie. This one is truly terrible. This was Tim Burton's Dark Shadows.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. TV show is much better, guys. And that was a soap opera with like zero budget. In the 60s, black and white. And we watched that movie. You do the thing where you're sitting next to somebody and you're not sure if you're touching knees by accident or on purpose. And I couldn't tell what was going on. But I wasn't worried about it like I used to be. I wasn't like fretting about it. I was just like, who knows what's going on here, but I'll give it a shot. We ended up not seeing the double feature. We went to have the most awkward coffee I've ever had with anybody in my entire life. Where I talked a lot and she didn't really say anything, and I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here, and I don't know why this date is not ending. Like, I'm talking to her, but I can't say. It was like a flat line. I could not discern a pulse. And I was like, this thing either needs to be over or it needs to enter another dimension. So we took this weird walk, and we walked around the block where the cinema is. It's a weird, not attractive area. And finally, I was like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, this is bullshit. You gotta do what you gotta do. So I said to her, can I just ask you a question? And she's like, okay. And I said, do you want to go somewhere and make out or possibly have sex? Because it's like, I was like, this is either gonna go or it's not gonna go, and I can't, it's, you know, it's just too much. And she said yes! Fucking triumph. Keep in mind that my ex had taken the bed, so I only had a couch. Only a couch to do it on, and it was great. Never saw her again. Perfect.